Hello to all my wonderful students and devout disciples. This is your Master GongSun. My name in Mandarin is pronounced GongSun Sifu, Sifu meaning master. Now, today we will continue with our study of the WenZi, further teachings of LaoZi. We will be using the translated copy by Thomas Cleary. This is chapter 38. LaoZi said, "So it is said, do not be disturbed, do not be frightened, all things will clarify themselves. Do not be upset, do not be startled, all things will order themselves." This is called the way of natural law. Now, this is actually a very good advice, especially when you're feeling upset or, as the chapter said, startled or frightened or disturbed. All things will clarify themselves sooner or later. All things will order themselves. This is called the way of natural law. And this actually reminds me very much of my time studying physics in school. There's a concept called entropy where there is a certain energetic disorder within any sort of system. But they actually, at first it is in a state of disorder, but it moves towards order, towards equilibrium. Remember that word from science? And that explains why heat flows from hot to cold, and why some processes become more mixed and less governed as time progresses. So, and it makes perfect sense from a metaphysical point of view as well, because sometimes if we do nothing, deliberately do nothing, we call that wu wei, or deliberative non-action. We don't force anything, and you actually end up getting what you want. For example, I'll give you an example from my own family. There was one time in which my father wanted us to go on vacation to a place that I didn't want to go to. Not only did I not have the time because I had to work, but I didn't want to go to this particular place. But instead of fighting him and resisting, I kept saying, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll think about it." So I didn't give him a definitive answer. Right? But because I knew if I had resisted, he would have been a bit upset, and that may have hardened his resolve to get us all to come on this family vacation. So I left it open-ended. I didn't force anything, or rather, I did it the yin way instead of the yang way. The yang way is more, you're resistant, you're confronting it head on, and sometimes that's a very bad idea. Most of the time it is. So anyway, a few weeks before the supposed vacation, I said, "Oh, I tried to ask my boss, but I can't. I would love to go, but I don't have that time off." So I told a little white lie. I actually did have the time off, but at least it felt to him that I was trying. Sure, that might have been a bit dishonest of me, might have been, telling that white lie, but sometimes little white lies, it makes people feel better. And when you're in a good mood, then usually good things will flow your way. Anyway, so whenever you feel disturbed or frightened, just remember that all things will clarify themselves. Whenever you feel upset or startled, all things will order themselves. That is called the way of natural law. This has been your Master GongSun. As usual, keep living in alignment with the Tao.